So to the best of my knowledge, that pretty well wraps up wiring. We got one more board to put on the ceiling, and then we'll go ahead and skin the ceiling, and so we can drill holes for our lights. That'll be next. Believe it or not, the ceiling panels went up really easy. We didn't even have to make a whole lot of extra cuts, and everything seemed to fit. I mean, on the first try, really. The only tricky part, and it really wasn't all that tricky, about putting up our ceiling was cutting out the 14-inch by 14-inch hole for our ceiling vent, and even that went pretty quick and seamless. But there was one small problem before we got to the next project. Problem solved. We decided to do a little half wall behind the driver's seat, just kind of a hard structure to work as sound dampening, place to hang things, as well as insulation. You would think a little 3-foot wall wouldn't cause many problems, but turns out there's a lot of angles to take into account, and this project took me borderline 2 days to figure out. And once the frame was ready, we couldn't even put it in because we had to take the ceiling down and paint that first. Once we figured out where we wanted our lights and cut out the holes for them, these little cheap LED puck lights that we got off of Amazon worked fantastic, and they give off honestly more light than we need in there. Then with some quick modifications to our vent cover, our ceiling was pretty well done other than the trim along the sides, but that's way down the road. And now to show that this is not a clickbait video, we get to skin in the walls. This process was surprisingly easy. We just used that fancy scribe tool, traced out along the edges, and then picked out exactly where we wanted our light switches and electrical outlets. First side was a success, and I believe this should be about the same. I do believe so. This is going to be real easy. I think this will work. It's a pretty lightweight, just really simple frame. It won't support any weight whatsoever. It's just kind of boxing around the wheel well. The next layer will come up here and kind of be the bench seat. So that way we have storage straight down and then a little area right here. Kind of like an L shape for storage. Not for anything big, probably just little electronics and stuff. But hey, every little bit of storage counts. Okay, I think we're pretty well ready to permanently put our sidewalls on. First, we're gonna take this kind of foam insulation here, and we're gonna wrap some of our main wire areas, especially where it goes through metal gaps. You don't really want it to shake and rub against that metal too long. For all of our switches to be level, we're gonna come up to 4 foot, which is really convenient because our 1/4 inch is 4 by 8. Oh, and also built a little computer box here. So we'll be able to slide the computer in here and it'll stick out of our cabinet a little bit. But it's got plenty of ventilation, places to run cables. I guess one notable thing that I should show cutting out and installing These are little thermal take fans. I got one in the wall here. This one's gonna go kind of over the little kitchenette area, pretty much right above the light switch. Luckily, it's pretty simple. All we had to do is pop off this little cover, use it as a template to mark out our square. I'll show that in a second. And then when we go to install it, we'll pop this in from the back and screw it down. Back plate as a template. We'll go ahead and punch some holes in here to make it easier to start. One hour of cutting later, and I think we are ready to tie everything together here. I'm thinking about a pretty easy day. More along the lines of just clean it out, paint it again, and I think that's gonna be the day.
Now that our walls are up, it's starting to feel more like a livable space. We can't wait to show off how far we've come along as this video series progresses and we get closer to our move-in date and our future travel. If you aren't subscribed yet, this is your chance to get front row seats and never miss an episode of Van Life on the Road. In next week's episode, we get to work building out our bed and couch. It's kind of both, you'll just have to see it.